when we first started getting a microphone?
When we first started
yes,
getting microphones?
when
for,
we
like, for
first
this
started
show?
getting a microphone and how fucking challenging it was to find one that works. Eric is still using like the OG.
Yeah, it's a 5 fine. I use it for everything now.
I see
although
a
I
lot
could
of
use
5
an
fines.
upgrade.
Yeah, because like
fine.
when you actually start choosing a microphone and stuff, if you're gonna like podcast all the time like you guys do, you need like Shure, or you need like something that's like reliable, right? Fucking what's it called? Eisenhower? No, what are they called? Steinhausers? What are they called? Fucking
Sennheiser.
there you go.
You sound expensive.
You know
The Schizes.
The more German the name, the more serious. The more serious equipment it is.
So everyone swears by Shure. Like
Yeah, but that's just
that's the
it's the same thing like anyone who's also using like a fucking like any kind of shotgun mic or anything you swears by like Rode, right? They just think that it's like above all and whatever. The truth of the matter is I recorded with microphones like this the whole time I had a podcast. And I don't know if you've heard any of my podcasts, but it doesn't sound like shitty.
No, it sounds perfectly
I'm sorry,
fine.
no, let me rephrase that. The first 8 episodes sound shitty. After that, when I started actually using this, it doesn't sound that bad. So like, yeah, like it's not like the top quality ASMR, style microphones, but like, yeah. But it's fine for a podcast, especially like you guys do real like mixing and shit like that. But like for doing what I was doing, which was like basically just like, like grip it and rip it, just like record, fucking let's go. And it got so compressed down. And after all of the audio cleaning and all that shit that I was like, I don't need a $500, $400 microphone, whatever. Like, and it was fine for what I was using. And at the time I was using Zoom because it was free because of the pandemic for everybody. Yep. So, that was the best thing ever. So
I'll tell you,
Greg, just be bougie.
Well, so I like it's weird. I find that when I'm mixing other individuals' shows, the best sound that I can get is if they are using Apple AirPods. For whatever reason, I can get the audio sounding fucking clean.
It's weird that you say that. When I recorded my show, the best sound that I ever got from a guest that didn't have one of these fucking things were just the white Apple headphones with the little microphone put in. And for some reason, like I remember Kyle from Cast Iron Kyle.
Yeah.
He came on my show and he was the first person to use one of those. And he was like, I don't really have a mic. He's like, I have my Apple earphones. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, all right, whatever. Yeah. And then he came on and I was like, oh my God, it sounds so good. I was like, it sounded so much more clear than I ever anticipated.
We interviewed a band from Seattle and the dude was using...
Oh, was it Nirvana?
It was, yeah. Well, it was
I know those guys.
Or I
That
guess
sounds like a
3/4. And he was using those, and the sound just sounds fucking good. Yeah. It just does. And I think, I don't know, like, as long as you don't have the volume cranked all the way up, then you can't edit diddly dick, if someone's like screaming at you, because no matter what you bring it down, it sounds distorted. But
it doesn't matter, yeah.
You can make anything sound good enough if you put fucking time into it.
True.
But I do swear by the fact that good audio and bad video is okay, but good video and bad audio, and I'm turning it the fuck
Very
off.
true.
Bye.
Very true.
That
good
is
audio.
not...
Good audio. Like that's why I hope this microphone actually works. So when I recorded with you last time, my video was really good. And nobody knows those, but I was just using the MacBook Pro, if you remember, because the shiny gold microphone I had was just a fucking prop.
It was just for show.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
So I'm on my 2013 iMac that I started up an hour and a half ago to get ready for this.
It's
right?
Boot in.
It needs like time to warm up and shit. This is my wife's 2013 iMac, and I know that this works because this is what I did my whole podcast on. The camera kind of sucks. I'm in lower light basically, but. You know what? I know that I can just direct in with the USB. The problem with the MacBook I'm realizing is that, especially for USB type input cameras, I have a newer MacBook, so it just has the 2 little Type C things in there, so there's no actual USB ports. So when you put the attachment in, if you don't have an actual audio interface to go in there, and I just have one of those like strips. Yep. Where it's like it goes into the MacBook and then there's some USBs. Yep. The microphones that I have don't work into that, which is why I've tried to record a couple different times on that MacBook, and I'm like, what the fuck? My microphones don't work. And I figured out that's fucking why.
Thanks, Apple.
Yeah,
taking away all our ports.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I have the I got a MacBook Pro back in June, I think, of 2024, and yeah, it has 5 or 6 USB-Cs, and go fuck yourself. No regular USBs. And then an HDMI. I would rather you keep the HDMI and give me one regular USB. You know,
Yeah,
I don't. I
absolutely.
use the HDMI sometimes,
Right.
but I have like my laptop right now. Like I'm looking at it, it looks like it's on life support, dude. I got like 18 different wires going in, and
It's usually how it works.
yeah.
Does this sound better, by the way, with a little fucking spit protector thing
it
on here?
actually does sound better.
Okay.
But it didn't sound bad before. And also, I would like to say that over the, I don't know, we talked what, maybe it's been 6, 7, 8-ish. Was it August?
So it was before the Hot Sauce Festival.
So was it July?
It was before then, I think. Even I'm pretty sure it was, because I think it was a couple months away, and I don't, or maybe it was like a month out, something like that.
So it was the summer of 24.
Yes.
The summer of 24.
Yes, right.
There you go.
Good times.
And I would like to, I think that our sound has gotten significantly better from.
But it wasn't bad.
No, it
bad
wasn't
back
bad.
then at all. Yeah.
But I would like to, I think that it has gotten better as we've progressed.
God,
but yeah,
I'm
no,
drinking
definitely.
like fucking Andre the Giant tonight. I'm spilling everything. Jesus Christ.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite airplane jokes. What is it? He goes, "Yeah, I've got a drinking problem," and he takes the water and he just like this is his mouth.
That's so awesome.
So I saw something and it got me thinking, because I think I might be a piece of shit for doing this, right?
Okay.
So Klarna is now offering installment loans on DoorDash.
That's a great way to start a sentence.
So
So is Klarna one of those sites? One of those like
It's like Afterpay, but what they do instead is like it's basically Afterpay. It's a
Yeah,
version of Afterpay. I've been using it for years. I love it. Yeah.
I ordered Taco Bell the other night,
Fuck yeah.
and I was
finally
like,
financed it?
well, it was
How
like,
much fucking Taco Bell did you order? Jesus.
it's like, all right, I could pay $30, or hear me out, for their $1.50 fee. I could pay 4 easy payments of like $8.13.
Yeah, but see, I would always choose that because even if it's more money in the long run, which everyone knows is the stupider choice, I'm such a sucker for that, because I'm like, I do that with Amazon all the time. I currently have probably 15 Amazon orders pending through like Affirm and stuff like that, where I'm just like, I could pay $190 for all this shit that I really don't need now, or I pay $8.95 for 12 months. That sounds great. You know, it's like, it's so appealing.
Don't let Dave Ramsey hear you say that, or he
Yo,
drop
when
dead.
I worked at a bank, I was taking phone calls for Capital One for 6
Fucker.
months.
No,
Oh, it was. I mean, I hated it. I only worked there for 6 months,
I'm sure.
but
Yeah.
constantly, always the people, and I'm just kind of generalizing, but it was an observation that was true more often than not. The people that are asking for forgiveness on overdraft fees, I would always see like QVC payment 2 of 8.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure Affirm wasn't really around as much as it is
but,
now. You know, all these payments of 1 of 3.
Well, I mean, that happened. That's annoying with me, where it's like I'll see all the payments come out, and like either just, and I'm like, I forget they exist until they come out, and like, you know, you always make sure you have enough to cover everything, hopefully. But yeah, Affirm has like ruined my life. It's great because like if there's something that I really, really need, or even like for bigger appliances, like we needed to get a bigger appliance for like my son's bedroom and stuff, and we had the money. I just didn't want to drop all of it at once. So I was like, you know what, I'll do 3 months, you know, 3 payments instead of like 6. And it broke it up into like $80 payments or something, whatever. It's just because sometimes you don't want to drop all of it at once, even though I know financially that's the smart.
But honestly, like Affirm is good for a lot of the installments that they do. 0% interest. So
Yes.
the 0% APR. So like our Peloton, I think we pay, you know, $200 a month or whatever for the next 12 months.
Did I ever tell you about the time? This is when Shay and I first bought our first house. We didn't have kids or anything, and we needed to kind of fill the house with stuff. And we said, "Oh, you know, it'd be sick for when we throw parties if we had bunk beds." So we went to Kmart, and this is before any of this stuff. It was, you know, layaway. We put a bunk bed on layaway, so we would just make a payment. I think we made like 3 payments on this bunk bed, and then after we finished paying it off, we could go pick it up.
At least layaway isn't as bad, because I feel like you're not getting it until you have paid it off.
Correct.
We could, in theory, say, "Yeah, fuck you, Affirm. Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
credit my
exactly.
credit, whatever."
Yeah.
They're not going to come back and repo my laptop.
No,
They'll just send it to collections and call it a day. You know?
exactly. Yeah, which, you know, that's,
File bankruptcy, and that's it. Look at all this cool
because
stuff.
that's the American way, right there.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, like I use PayPal splitting for a lot of stuff, mainly like guitar stuff. But I also have a habit of using it for soaps, beard oils.
Okay, but no, see that like sometimes the reason why I started making my own beard balm, which I think you two hopefully saw,
Yes.
the reason I did that is because these balms and oils can get fucking crazy. Like I had, first of all, I had no idea that this was a totally like unregulated business. Like I called New York and they were just kind of like, I mean, whatever you got going on is kind of okay. And I'm like, what? And for somebody like me that was a hot sauce producer that had to jump through so many hoops just to get my fucking license to sell at a farmer's market, literally, New York is the worst with that. It's not like other states. Like you have to go through 16 hours of school to get certified. You have to get inspected by food safety twice. You have to pay application fees, like all this bullshit just to be able to get a license to sell at a farmer's market. But with beard oil that's going onto somebody's face, they're like, hey, you got amber bottles? It's fine. You know, they're like, they don't give a shit. Yeah, they're like, it's fine. Totally unregulated. And I started making my own beard balm because they're so fucking expensive. Like I would order like 2 different oils, a balm and a brush. And I'm like, okay, well, that was $46. How did that happen? Like, you know,
I'm sure Greg's going to go grab a handful of beard oils right now.
Probably.
And that's why he's financing it, because he buys hundreds of dollars at it at a time.
Let's see. Oh my God, dude. Jeez.
So, but hear me out, right? So it's fine because Yo Joe, you know, you got Crocs Creek, I got fucking Weapon X.
Okay.
Like
I know we've talked to people about like the copyright infringement thing.
I guess as long as you're not fucking with the mouse.
With their
Right,
money,
or
right?
with
like
their-
I'd
yeah.
say, this is Luke Skywalker's
As long as it's not like
beard balm.
Yeah, as long as it's not in the actual name, I don't really think they give a shit. I think it's more like I think even you know, if I were to make like a Sons of Anarchy beard oil and call it like, you know, Hell on Wheels, like I can't do that. But if I were to call it like Jax's beard balm, like then yeah, maybe.
Whatever you do, don't clip this and get them in trouble.
No,
Yeah,
definitely not.
we're gonna
whole
cut
thing.
this segment out
Yeah.
so we don't get fucking. Well, I didn't make them. I'm actually in the process of selling these. This is an overstock.
There you go.
So
now you're going to get in trouble. Now you will get in
I
trouble.
don't think it's because they're not mine. It's no different than selling. You know,
You get pulled over and say, "Officer, these aren't mine."
I was holding them for a friend.
It's like, why do you
just
have
selling them.
so many facial accessories in this car? And it's like, I swear to God, they're not all mine.
I've never seen these before. But okay, so I I do want to say, not the biggest thing, but this Saturday is the fucking hot sauce festival. Not
Philadelphia
the Philadelphia Hot Sauce Festival, and I'm not saying that's the only reason why we wanted you on, but it just the timing
It's
worked
not
out.
okay. It's like,
Well, actually, okay, well, that's
And now
it,
that we're
everybody.
done talking about that,
Yeah,
that's it for this week's
Until
episode. We'll catch you cool cats next week.
So do you want to talk about it a little bit?
yeah, sure.
Or a
I'd
lot of
love
it.
to. Or a lot of it. Philadelphia Hot Sauce Festival for the second year in a row. No, third year in a row? Sorry. It's the third annual Philadelphia Hot Sauce Festival. It's the second year that it's held at Neshaminy Creek Brewing Company. I'm not 100% sure if it was there the first year, but I was there last year. It's at Neshaminy Creek Brewing Company in Croydon, PA, which is just outside of Philadelphia this year again. Neshaminy was fucking awesome. They were so great. They promoted the hell out of it. They were super nice to everybody when we got there. They let the judges drink for free, which I love. But also, it's such a welcoming environment with everybody too. The space that they had last year was really cool because there's the main tap room, and then we had this big warehouse space with all the giant barrels in the background. I'm not sure if we're going to be in that space again. We might have a bigger space this time. We'll see. But they might extend it around the corner even. And, you know, because last year it was like a straight shot, and maybe it'll go around the corner. I don't really know. I can't speak for them. I don't work for Neshaminy.
It was pretty crowded.
It was
crowded
it
with
was
that
It got
straight shot.
crowded. Yeah, which is a good thing. Obviously a good thing. But I think what I'm most excited about is just seeing all these sauce brands again, and, you know, cool people like you two who came. Two of the only people that I've actually podcasted with that I've actually met in person. I've had friends, virtual podcast friends that I've known for like now, I don't know, 5 years, and still have not met in person. And within like 2 months, I recorded with you guys. I met you, so that's like pretty awesome.
And then again 1 year after that.
And then we're back, baby.
Yep.
Exactly. But I'm gonna be it's fun. I'm gonna be judging again this year, which is gonna destroy my stomach lining, but that's fine. So
Can we talk about the fallout from our fallout from last year?
man, that was
Greg, what happened to you?
Okay, all right.
You
so
died, I think.
So
because it's so much like it's such a
it's
short
so
amount
much.
of time.
Well, and that's the thing. So okay, so look, you go and there are a shit ton of vendors, and most of them, if not all of them, offer you free fucking samples.
Yeah.
And I have a problem with saying no.
Me too.
So I said yes to everybody.
Until towards the end, and you started saying, "Oh, Eric really loves hot sauce. He wants to try them all." And I was like, "You motherfucker!"
He was just trying to
I
put you
can't-
through whatever mutual pain. He was trying to like get you on his level.
Well,
of
we
agony.
fucked up. We fucked up real bad because we were like looking at the food trucks, and it was like kind of early, and then we got tied up doing stuff, and then by the time we got back, we were really hungry, so we ate like way late, but already had enough hot sauce in our bellies to just kind of fuck us for the day.
And the like, all we had. I mean, those French fries, those really fucking good fries.
Yeah, those
but
are
like,
really good.
that was all we ate, and that wasn't enough food, And we were drinking because Neshaminy Creek also hooked Eric and I up, and we were drinking for free
Because
too.
they're awesome. Yeah,
It was fucking great. Shout out Neshaminy.
I brought one of the hot sauce vendors over there. Me and this other guy, John, I brought one over because they had tried an actual ghost pepper, and Neshaminy had heard that, and they just gave her like a bunch of whiskey, and they were like, "Here, like drink, like you need to kill that heat." Like ASAP. Which, by the way, for people listening, the higher proof alcohol you drink, the more it kills the spice. So that's a good trick. Like when the first time I ever did a Korean fire noodle challenge, where I took like the 4X Buldak like packs of noodles, like the crazy like artificial hot ones.
Love those.
Back in 2019, I went live on Instagram and I put 4 of them in a fucking Pyrex and just tried to eat as much as I could. And I had a carafe of scotch next to me to kill the heat. But I also had cream and I had cheese and whipped cream. And it turns out that all those things mixed together make you puke. So that's exactly what happened. But no, Neshaminy Creek was incredible, and there are going to be food trucks this year. You guys have to now schedule time when you're going to eat. Like, okay, no matter what we do, 10:45 or 11. Well, it starts at 11, so you say like 12:30. We're going to eat. That's it. Like, and no matter what you're doing, you just have to go and eat. Like,
Let's get a big breakfast on the way.
That's what I was. Yeah. So we. Need
that's what I'm. Well, I have to do that morning, but yeah. So
we need to like schedule food, and it was just hectic for us because we as like podcasters, we never went to an event like that before, and so like we didn't know what to expect, or like if we were gonna be shy or whatever, and it ended up being like
One of these. Aw.
shucks, no, but like everyone was so welcoming and nice. We would just talk to people, and then like 35 minutes would pass, and then we're interviewing Mike Jack, and then so he's not going to be there.
I don't think he's going to be there this time. I think he's out and about, as he says.
Yes.
Sorry.
Shout out Mike.
But no, he surprised me more than anybody because I don't know why I'm surprised. He's a Guinness Book World Record holder for like 20, like a bunch of fucking records, like random shit too. But like especially for the hot stuff, and his preparation, I was so curious because I was like, I'm meeting this, like, he's like a 5'5" little adorable Canadian, and he's so soft spoken. And I'm like, dude, how do you like prepare? He's like, oh, just drink some coconut water and just hang out. And I'm like, that's it. And he's like, yeah. And then I watch him just house like 40 fucking Reapers. And I'm like just at a table, and he's like going through it, but he just fucking powers through. And then after that, he just suffered for a little, and then he was okay. I'm like,
yeah, we were all just kind of in awe, just staring at this dude.
We're all just watching the table. And these are people who spend all their time with like hot sauce peppers, and everybody was just like staring at him like, what?
I mean, it's quite the feat, but I started to feel bad. Eventually, we're all just standing around watching this guy, like you said, going through it, and we're all just like, I mean, you can't just cheer straight for like
it's just
20
like,
minutes.
More.
Yeah, everyone's like, another one, another one. And he's just like, he's like bleeding out of his ears. He's just like
he's dying.
Because you can tell he just like completely blacks out everybody else because everyone's like, woo, it's like, oh my god, it's crazy, and everyone's like, how's he doing that, right? And he's just at the table just like just like fucking like scarfing down these peppers. Oh god.
It was so we asked him, we're like, so I was curious to see if there was any long term, hey, you eat all of this shit, is it bad for your esophagus, like? And he was like, I don't think so. My doctor asked for an autograph. I was like, that's not really what I asked, but like, okay. Are you going to be okay?
What I like on his page is people will ask him that, and he has a whole series sometimes where he puts up stories of his like snarky comments back to people, and somebody was like, it's like, well, my doctor who practices traditional Eastern medicine, it's like, says that you can dub up whatever, and he was like, really? He goes, well, my doctor who practices real medicine said I'm gonna be totally fine. Like, so it's like.
I was curious, and then he said he just, like, you know, depending on how much he eats, the next day he might just lay on a cold bathroom floor and just throw up.
Yeah,
and then that's it.
That's how it. Like, look, when people ask me how I handle eating that much sauce at one time, because you remember with the judging last year we did it the night before, so I was able to sleep off the pain, which was nice. But it's usually 3 or 4 different categories, anywhere between 12 and 18 sauces per category. So all of those basically on a spoon or maybe a tortilla chip all at once. So if you do the math, you're talking anywhere between 50 and say 80 sauces, maybe, depending on how many sauces are in each category. And so doing that one after the other, after the other, after the other, it's a lot. And, you know, it's rough on the insides.
How much are you actually trying per
a spoonful?
Per sauce? A spoonful. That's still a fucking lot when you're eating.
If they make a fucking Reaper sauce like they all do, yeah, it's a lot, man. Like,
yep.
Which, look, some people make Reaper sauces that are incredible, right? There are brands that are coming that I've entered that I've tried before and that I know personally. I don't know what sauces I'm eating though, because it's always a blind test. Right. Mm-hmm. So like you just get a spoon. We don't see the bottle. We don't see anything like that. The sauces are numbered and we just have the number sauce it is and we write the chart. That's it. So like we don't see what we're trying. But there are Reaper sauces out there that I've tried that actually are amazing because they handle the right amount of Reaper. Like there's a brand that's going to be there that you guys need to try. I just catered with him. His name is Mike. He owns Long Island Pepper Company. He has a papaya and Carolina Reaper hot sauce. Now, he uses only a little bit of Reaper for the entire batch, so it gives it a beautiful heat. But that papaya is like, mwah, beautiful. That being said, he has a hotter version of that called Dragon's Blood, which is a mash of ghost pepper and Carolina Reaper and papaya, and he uses a lot more. That one will lay you on your ass. That's like, woof. But it's good, though. It's very fruity, you know.
Greg, if somebody asks you to try it, you're trying it.
It's just
obviously
it's tough for me because like if it tastes good, Chris, like you're saying, like then I'm for it if it's gonna kill me.
Correct.
But like I don't like things that are just hot just to be fucking hot.
Yeah,
you
like
know what I mean?
Bomb on fucking hot ones. Yeah, have you tried that? By the way,
no,
I have. Yeah, it's disgusting. It doesn't taste like a good sauce. It's literally, and what I love is they've stopped trying to mess around. Like they don't even fuck around anymore on the show. Sean Evans literally straight up says to people, "He's like, this sauce doesn't taste good. Like it's just hot." And everyone's like, "Okay," and they just eat it. They're like, "Wow, that sucks." Everybody suffers with that sauce, but then they've gone through that it seems like the last 2 sauces are like a walk in the park, you know, basically. And yeah, some sauces are just hot to be hot, right? Mm-hmm. And we may even talked about this the last time I was on. I'm not a fan of that. I'm a fan of flavor. Like there was a sauce that won in Boston and in Philly. There was I think it was in it was in Philly. I'm sorry. So there was a sauce that won last year from Not Joe Mama sauce, right? It was called Sweet Onion. And I might even told you guys about this that day. And I think I pointed at the booth and I'm like, you got to go try that. But it was basically like this beautiful mix of caramelized onions and tomato paste. And he submitted it in the category of what's best to put on a hot dog. So I was like, okay. And there were like 11 judges, maybe 12, and we're all at a table. We all tried this sauce and like audibly, we all went, oh, because it was not spicy. It didn't blow us away. It barely even had a kick, but it was just such a perfected fucking sauce. And that is, if you can find the right balance, that's what winning at these places is really about. It's not about whether or not you can make somebody want to die. It's about whether you can have somebody taste it and say, you know, I'm in a little bit of pain, but honestly, like this flavor is just, it's ridiculous. Like it's insane.
If I was a judge, it's whatever hot sauce I taste first wins, because after that, I'm done. They all taste the same. Well, it's easy for me.
Do you? So is there like a sheet that you use? Is there like, you know,
you keep track
like the butt? Yeah. Now, is there like a butthole burn?
Well, again, I'm going based off last year. I don't necessarily know how it's going to work this year.
Sure.
That should be a rating
Yes.
I think there should be something where I just fill in like a little like starfish looking thing, and once people see that, like a little asterisk, but it's like an actual asshole. So like an ascarol. No, I'll come up with a better name.
Yes.
But like that should be like, this is gonna fucking murder me later. Because yeah, some of them last year was like, I think the night that we were doing the tasting too, after we were done, I just consumed like beer. I was trying to like fill my stomach as quickly as I could. And then vodka, and I was like, well, that just solved all my problems, because now I don't give a shit about anything. It didn't help, like, chemically. I just didn't care that I was, going through pain. So
I got home and I was fine, and then around like 3 a.m. I just got sick. Like, I was just deathly ill.
Yeah, but that was probably from all the different sauces mixed together and lack of food, because the acid builds up and stuff. Like, I have chugged hot sauce quite a bit. For making reels and like stuff like that. And sometimes I prepare properly and I'm like, okay, dum-dum, you're going to be putting a whole bunch of sauce in your body at once. You need to load in something, pasta, food, bread. I don't give a shit, anything, crackers, whatever. Other times I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot to film XYZ for, chili plants or whatever. And like, I'll go and I'll just down like a quarter bottle of sauce. And I'm like, oh cool. And like 20 minutes later, I'm like, it's just like, I'm just like, like dying. Yeah. That's why, like, I think people think that, like, you're, like, indestructible if you do these, like, festivals and stuff. I am not. I'm really worried about judging in front of everybody, because, like, I really can't act like a bitch. I gotta, like, I have to really handle my shit. And there are sauces that, like, when we did the tasting last year, when we did the judging, a lot of them were really, really good. But there was a few where, like, we all needed to, like, take a break and, like, go outside and, like, breathe, because it was hot. It's like you need to catch your breath a little bit. And I think people think the opposite. They think we just have fucking tongues of steel, which, no, it's not the case.
So are you doing the judging? You're doing it on Saturday? On
Saturday, yeah. I think
Saturday
pretty early.
night?
No, pretty early Saturday.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
they've already submitted, for the most part, all the brands that wanted to submit sauces, I think, have already. So they can organize it ahead of time. They know which ones are there. They label everything, what number, whatever, if it's set up like last year at least. Because that way you do it early, and then people can go for the festival, and then during the day on Saturday they can give out the awards, and Sunday is really just like a free day for people to not have to worry about coming up and accepting an award when you've got 5 people at your booth. You got to just like, whatever. It was cool though last year. I mean, we had some great winners last year. Earthquake Sauces won. Homero from Harmacy. I don't know if you tried Brimstone Rim Job, the best name of a sauce ever created.
I remember the name.
Yeah, yep. Yes. He's fucking crazy, Homero. He makes some incredible shit. He's gonna be there again. He won. Ron from Hell's Kitchen won the Liberty. I think he's there again too. Ron makes incredible sauces as well. The guy from Nacho Mama Sauce with the sweet onion won for the hot dog category. So it's nice to have a day where there's that kind of fun stuff, but you could tell when some of them went up to get the award, like they probably had a couple people at their booth and they had to like run away and be like, I'll be right back, don't steal my shit. And then like, go and accept the award. So I think having a day of just like free play basically is nice. I won't be there Sunday, unfortunately. I have to come back for catering duties. So,
yeah,
I have
life calls.
Fucking, yeah, man. I got to feed people. It's annoying. So.
We'll be there on Saturday too. We're gonna get there pretty early again. We're planning on doing some on the site, like on site interviews, talking with the vendors. With you,
not
Kyle.
to tell people to not eat the food trucks that are going to be there, but if you guys really wanted to, do you have to possibly pass through the city of Philadelphia to get to Croydon, or no?
We.
Kind of.
95 straight up.
Yeah, we're straight. Yeah, straight up.
I mean, if I were you and I were coming from your direction, which is down south, a little bit.
Down yonder.
Right? Yeah, it's down yonder. Sorry, that was old Georgia accent.
We ain't down that far.
Yeah. No. You guys are Maryland, no?
Delaware.
Maryland? Delaware. Yeah,
basically.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's all the same thing.
Yes.
We all scissor states.
Yeah.
Hold on. All right, there we go. Sorry, my iMac was just like, Adobe's going to update. I'm like, no.
No, don't do that.
Don't do it.
It just closed out of Google. If I were coming up from where you guys are coming up from, what I would do is I would stop in Philly, and as early as the earliest best cheesesteak place opens up, I would grab a few of those, keep them maybe even in the car, And then when you really need to step outside, have a breath of fresh air, and house like half of Philly, like maybe do
So
that.
let me ask you: Have you dabbled in Philly cheesesteaks before?
Yep.
So
I've
compared
been to
to
Pat's, I've been to Geno's. Yeah.
okay, so like some would say those are the throat goats of Philly, but
You would say that.
I'm going to make a controversial statement. Geno's, I am on par with that. Pat's, I'm not. What am I saying? I'm not from Philly. I don't give a fuck. Pat's, I don't give a shit.
Well, so
Pat's was like whatever. So
Since we're close enough, I'll tell you the general consensus of people from Philly
is that Geno's is a fucking joke, and that you can't go there if you want a real Philly cheesesteak, right?
and then they call it a John.
I mean, the John, them Johns is mid.
Get over
I think
here.
is what the kids say these days. But then there's no consensus of here's the best steak. Everybody's got their spot though, which is great.
That's like trying to ask for the best bacon, egg, and cheese in New York. You just can't do it. Like
McDonald's. Everyone knows it's McDonald's.
I will get off this fucking podcast. Right
Yeah.
now.
Bye.
No, I think, in New York, there's no best bacon, egg, and cheese because, like, you could go to a fucking bodega in the Bronx, like, and get a $3.99 bacon, egg, and cheese that is better than half the places that I live around a little bit north. So, it's hard to do that. I think if you're from Philly, there's probably a bunch of places that do incredible cheesesteaks. Probably definitely better than Bradley Cooper's bullshit that he's slinging, but we'll get back to that later.
Is he making cheesesteaks?
He bought a fucking cheesesteak place in the city, and he's in the kitchen, like, slinging them out. And I'm like, this is a weird transition.
He doesn't have to do that.
No, he doesn't have to do that. And he probably shouldn't do that, considering that everyone, like, is trying them. And there's a lot of reviews that were like, meh, 3 stars. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
So, I'm not trying to take away from Philly and what they've done for the cheesesteak, market or whatever, but you can get some good ass cheesesteaks here in Delaware.
Okay,
sure.
Now you can. I think it's the areas around Philadelphia, no problem. But apparently, like 20 years ago, if you were in Kansas, Texas, whatever, and you ask for a cheesesteak, they're going to give you, it's nothing like a cheesesteak, like a Philly cheesesteak. It's like thin cut, not shaved. It's like, slices of steak. Like I cooked a steak and then I sliced it, and then they melt cheese on top of it. It's not. But it's not like the.
But it's not the usual like.
It's not like the chopped cheesesteak.
It's not
That's
the
basically
Aki way.
because that's basically what New York. I don't know which. I mean, I'm not going to say which one came first. I'm about to go to Philly and I'm talking shit about it. This is horrible. I'm literally about to. This is like
They're
this is
gonna
like
beat you up.
No, this is like when I went to Boston to judge and go to the festival, and I just wore my Yankees hat because I'm like, fuck everyone here. No, I'm sure that's what the New York version of a chopped cheese came from. I don't want to generalize or make any assumptions. I should probably know this because I'm from New York, but it's that similar style where like you need it on a griddle. You need that taste. Like otherwise it's not going to have that grease. It's not going to have that weight. You know what I mean? Like the rule of thumb back in the day used to be, was it from? I think Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? Like if it's like greasing like through the bag, it's a real Philly cheesesteak, right? Was that?
Yeah.
Was that right? So like that's like what you need though. You need that weight. You need that heaviness. Same thing with the bacon, egg, and cheese in New York, where it needs to be done on a griddle, or it's not going to taste the same. I make plenty of bacon, egg, and cheeses right here in my kitchen on my cast iron stove. They taste like shit compared to actual bacon, egg, and cheeses that you get from a deli. So there's just certain elements that need to be present. I'm sure in Philly, and Philly people, if you're listening, can attest to this, there's probably 1,000 fucking places within Philadelphia that you can get an amazing cheesesteak. Pat and Geno's have just, fisted themselves in marketing enough to where people like me drive to Philly and they're just like, oh, we're going to go to Pat and Geno's, and you think it's like the two destinations. We did it. My wife and I went and we got one from Pat's, one from Geno's, and we did a half and half swap and stuff. And it was what everybody says, Pat's bread was like super tough and dry and Geno's was a fucking grease stick, so it was like, yeah, it was really good. But like, I don't know. I think you're never going to get an answer from Philly people. You're never going to get like, oh, this is the best place to get.
Yeah,
a
I want to say they're representative of Philly cheesesteaks, but not the ultimate.
Yes, which
I feel like in Delaware, right? We have one thing really, and that's scrapple.
Scrapple. I had scrapple for dinner. Leftover scrapple.
And we have
at that,
and the best scrapple, I think, without a doubt, is Rappa.
Rappa scrapple.
Right. But that's all we have.
There's a recipe you should look at then. There's do you know Phil Bosco from Paired Pints? Phil from Paired Pints, he's been in a couple of the festivals and stuff. He's going to be there on Saturday too. He made Scrapple Gourmet. He did a whole recipe where he did some insane insane like dessert version of it with some like powdered sugar, some crazy shit. And he did a whole reel on it. It looks beautiful. So now I got to send it. I haven't heard the name Scrapple since I watched his video.
Have you've had Scrapple before?
I live in the north. No, well,
You city folk.
fucking Yankees.
Scrapple's fucking awesome.
I've never had Scrapple.
Okay, I'm gonna bring you a brick and I'm gonna freeze it, and we'll hope
Does it
you
need
don't
to be
die.
Is it alive? What is it? Does it need to be?
Well, I'll freeze it so that way maybe you don't get sick. You know.
What is it?
How are you gonna
Hold on,
transport
hold
this,
on.
Greg?
Back up. What the fuck is it made out of exactly?
Okay,
all-
so
It
you
looks
know,
like a really weird fig bar.
Do you
from
know-
like the outside?
like you've had bacon and
I've had bacon
sausage,
before, yes, yeah.
and ham. You've had all those things,
Are you
right?
describing haggis to me? Is that what Scrapple is?
No. So if you've had those things, well, I've never had haggis, so I can't say. But if you've had those things, Scrapple is the rest of the pig,
Oh fuck yeah! I'm so
all the rest of the stuff.
What do
Okay.
they say? The lips and the assholes of the pigs.
I think that's what they say.
And it's what like a cornstarchy is it cornmeal something? I don't know.
Probably cornmeal
Cornmeal.
mixer to hold it together.
And so what you got to
You
do
need
is you
something
cut it
to
up.
hold it together. That's a really good sign.
So I'm gonna bring you a brick of Rappa, and you got to cut it real thin, and
And
you
pan
got
fry
to
it.
get it nice and crispy on the outside and mushy on the inside,
Okay.
Yeah.
and it'll blow your tits off.
And I can't eat it raw, right?
So my uncle used to eat it raw, but I definitely don't think you're so
Stop it.
fucking. You're definitely
If just
not
your
fucking-
uncle used to do it, then I'm not going to do it.
Just
yes,
my
thank you. Okay.
just my uncle.
Just
Is
your
he
uncle.
still alive?
He is not.
I won't ask why he died, but
Yeah.
how did I know?
So
Christ.
cook it up. It'll blow your mind. It's so fucking good.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring you a brick.
You
of
bring
Rappa.
me. I'll bring you guys. So you guys are going to get hot sauce and glass as well. So I'm actually bringing my hot sauce back for this festival. So I'm gonna start
Oh.
producing. I just did a giveaway, as you might have seen on Instagram of it. But yeah, my mango coffee habanero hot sauce. I started producing it again.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna not officially. I'm not selling it, because
Right,
I'm
of
not
course not.
legally allowed to. But I can give it to anybody I want.
Oh.
So, but in the candy, the Carolina Reaper and habanero candy, the glass
Which was
candy.
fucking awesome. That was
Yes, it
really
was.
good.
Oh yeah, you guys tried it, right?
We
I gave
Yes,
you-
it
did.
did.
Well,
Yeah.
we
I think right
took-
before we left.
We took some from that individual. I can't remember her name, but I think she was out of New York, and you gave her some, and you were like, "Hey, give them some of that candy."
I don't I have
Yeah.
no idea. But I was giving it out to everybody. That's why I'm like, I have no idea what that was. That candy is my. I mean, the hot sauce will always be my pride and joy because I love that recipe. I spent so long refining that recipe down. The candy is a weird Breaking Bad style meth
Yeah,
creation.
I was gonna say that's
Yeah,
exactly
what's the
what
purity
it looks
of it?
Honestly, like and you know what's weird? I've refined that down to where that matters to me. Like now I've figured out how to make the glass more clear from the side, like from a lateral view. And it has to do with the sugar to water ratio. So the less water that you use to saturate the sugar, the clearer your glass will be if you let it boil down correctly. So instead of doing equal parts sugar and water and melting it down into a caramel to make a hard candy, you just make like wet sand basically. And then you bring it down to a boil like that. I'm giving everyone a recipe. I don't give a shit. But you do that. And then after I get it to a certain level of brown and after it's been infused with habanero, Carolina Reaper, stuff like that, then I pour it out and let it dry. And when it dries and hardens fully and I smash it from a lateral side view, you can almost see through it now. And yeah, I'm excited. It's become my crazy meth creation that I love.
So Walter
so
White
much.
would be proud, man.
He really would. I brought it to a catering event the other night, and they were like, "Is this shatter? Like, what the fuck is this?" Like, they were like, "What are you giving us right now?" And I'm like, "They were like, is this legal?" And I'm like,
Chris,
"Yeah,
do you cook it in your underwear? Just your tidy whities?
just my tidy whities and a gas mask."
You
Yeah,
have to. Yeah.
My daughter had a friend over, and I was actually sitting right here playing video games, and I smell something, and I'm like,
is this going to transition into meth? Because that would be a weird,
Wait.
a weird
Is she
segment.
cooking
here
meth
they
now?
are, and here they are, 8 years old, cooking meth in my basement.
I'm like-
thought it was gonna blow up.
The end.
I
You're
do
like, I
smell.
was upstairs and I heard, "Yes, bitch," and you're like, "What?" He's just like, "What?"
So I smell burning a little bit, and I go, "Oh no!" And I run downstairs because I'm supervising this hangout, right?
Oops.
My wife's out, and I go, no, if they burn the house down, I'll never hear the end of it. And they were trying to make dalgona, the
the
sugar
coffee.
cookie thing from Squid Games.
Yeah.
Where they have to lick it and use a toothpick to
what is
get
it,
the
Lick
break
it
it,
and
die?
you have to break out the shape. Yeah.
Right. So they were trying to make it in the fucking toaster oven. And I was like, girls, did you even look up a recipe? They said, yeah, we did, but we know how to use a toaster oven. We don't know how to use a frying pan to do this. And I said, well, good on you for not doing something that you weren't comfortable doing, but next time come get me. So then we made it. And it was remarkably easy and stuck to fucking everything.
Yeah, that's my nightmare. I'd rather not make something if I know it's going to stick to everything. Oh, yeah. I've come up with a good system now for my glass because it's caramel, where I don't go through that. But honestly, things sticking to pans, not being able to get them off things, is my biggest pet peeve. It's why my cast irons remain so well seasoned. It's why I won't buy nonstick still because I'm such a prick about that. But I can't have things stick. I lose my mind. I don't let things soak overnight. I'm not one of those people. I have to fucking get in there and get it out, But
yeah, better to clean it right away.
Yeah. Clean
when
it
you
go.
just said that before, by the way, and you were like, I'm upstairs and I smell burning in my head, I was like, oh no, he's having a stroke. And that was my first.
It smelled like
fucking toast.
It did smell like toast.
You was like, oh my god, what is that burning? And then I woke up in the hospital and my left side was, and I'm just like, oh my god.
R.I.P.
They call me Eileen now.
Hey Chris, we're looking for another co-host on Daddies the podcast soon. So.
Preferably somebody.
It would be 2.5 men at that point.
Yeah.
Yikes. Fucking
Okay,
Jesus.
but let's hold on. So toaster oven.
Yeah.
Do you still only toast your bread in a toaster oven?
Yes, I don't own a toaster. Greg, you know this.
Dog,
Toast
you're the
is
only-
perfectly fine out of a toaster oven.
Wait,
Yeah,
hold
in
on.
1829.
You don't have a toaster? You don't have an actual toaster?
I don't own a toaster. I have a toaster oven.
Okay.
Motherfucker, that's for dino nuggets.
You could also sear steaks if you douse it in kerosene and light it on fire. But there are much easier ways to do that, and you should get a toaster because toaster ovens are big and annoying and hot, and toasters make a funny little sound when they throw your bread up at you.
It's satisfying.
Yeah.
Having to catch it on a plate.
Yeah,
I saw a video. Who are those guys? I forget who those guys are. I think they're based out of Florida, but they rigged a toaster at a hotel to shoot the toast up 8 feet high. And motherfuckers were trying to do that with their plates, trying to catch it. And
God, I love rednecks.
yeah.
I just feel like if I want a piece of toast, I don't feel like cooking it in a toaster oven for 18 minutes.
Well, let me tell you something that's really going to piss you off then. My toaster oven also doubles as an air fryer.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Hold on. Okay.
Got it from QVC.
Probably.
What kind of fucking toaster oven is it? First of all, is this thing? Are you just talking about a regular oven, or are you talking about
It's a toaster. It's a toaster oven, and it has settings for bagel, toast,
Yeah,
bake,
mine does
air
too. But
fry.
I don't use any of them. I'm just and then I just look inside when everything's burning.
So I'll say I fucked up and I used it for the air fryer setting, and they give you a little basket, but there's a fucking heating element underneath. And I wasn't thinking about this. My mom had made, what'd she make? Latkes for
Nice.
Christmas, maybe?
Fuck yeah.
That's
brought him over.
did. She made us latkes.
Yes, right.
Way to
good.
fight
You
the
had
system,
something.
Latkes for Christmas. Fuck yeah.
right. And she, so then she left me all the leftovers because she knows I love them. And I put them in my air fryer in the little basket, and I started to see little light. It was lighting up in the corner of my kitchen. I was like, what is that? And they were dripping onto the heating element, which I never had thought about. I was like, who would fucking put a basket? I don't know. It's poor engineering on that. But I do stand by my toaster oven making really great toast.
No.
It's just there's so many easier ways to do it.
Use a fucking lighter.
I'm out of
use a frying pan. What the fuck?
I'm out of counter space. So
So you get a toaster oven?
That's why you should get rid of your fucking toaster oven because
well, I like the toaster oven. It's nice to make smaller batches of things that I need to put in the oven. I don't have to
What?
put the whole ass
What
oven
do you
up.
make smaller batches of?
Silas today for dinner, he had 4 mozzarella sticks. And he had oatmeal. So I don't want to heat the whole oven up for 4.
Yeah, but what did you eat for dinner?
Scrapple. I had scrapple. I had all my leftover breakfast. Okay, it was a really sad breakfast. I'm literally cleaning out all my leftovers. So I had one piece of scrapple and I had like 5 links of sausage and like all the leftover eggs.
I mean, that's not bad.
It's a lot
I just
of
can't get
meat.
over the mozzarella sticks and the oatmeal.
Oh, he had
That's a weird-
4 mozzarella sticks. But
And then he
but it was
dipped 'em in
perfect
the
for
oatmeal?
the toaster oven.
Doesn't he
no,
know
he'll-
that you're not allowed to have an even amount of mozzarella sticks? You can only ever get served an odd amount of mozzarella sticks. That's the rule
I never
for
thought
any
about
restaurant
that.
ever. They're
Yeah,
like,
why is that?
it's
So
always
that you
just
have
like,
to order a
here's
second order.
yeah. If there's
So
2
that
people and they're
everybody
like,
gets the
oh,
same
were you
amount.
guys having a nice night? Well, here's 5 mozzarella sticks. Like,
Nice.
Or you each get 2 and then you have to lady and tramp to the middle
You
to
just
the
get-
middle of the 5th one.
nope. I mean, I don't care. No, it's at that point, it's like a fucking shootout in the Wild West. It's
You're
like
taking the
you're
L.
both just looking. Yeah. He's like,
Are mozzarella sticks the best appetizer?
are they the best appetizer? They're
I'm
up
gonna
there.
say not to me.
No,
they're,
okay.
they're good.
They're depending on the venue and the setting.
That's
Okay.
fair.
So for certain evenings, are mozzarella sticks the best? Yes, but I oftentimes find myself seeing them on the menu and being like, meh, and just not getting them because I know one of 2 things: either 1, they're gonna taste like shit, or 2, there's not gonna be a good cheese pull, or 3, they're gonna bring me fucking 5 of them, and I'm gonna be like, this is annoying because this costs $8 fucking dollars. So the best though, I don't know. I would venture a guess to say that there are other ones that can be used in multiple kinds of restaurant settings, maybe that are better than mozzarella sticks. I mean, like
Fried pickles are good.
I have
pickles.
cheesesteak egg rolls.
I was literally just about to say I would put fried pickles just because I'm me. I put fried pickles above mozzarella sticks because to me, I've never. How do I put this in a way that doesn't make me seem insane? Okay, I have many times brushed over mozzarella sticks on a menu. It's been very rare that I've been to a place and I've seen fried pickles and not ordered the fried pickles because you never know what kind of pickles. It's always a surprise. They're always crunchy, you know, especially if they use like a nice like batter or something like that instead of just like doing like an actual dret. It's fucking great. Sorry, God.
No. It's just it's interesting too because a lot of places, if you get the sampler, the fried pickles aren't included. You know, it's
Because
always
they
like
know that people
mozzarella
always want
sticks,
them. Yeah.
wings, and like potato
Exclusive.
skins.
I know. It's almost like the shit that they know is frozen. It's the weirdest thing.
Nobody wants those 3 things. Give me the fucking pickles.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like so there was this place by us, and they used to do fried pickle spears
Ooh, those are nice.
over at McGlynn's, Eric.
Oh yeah. That's my
And it was so good. And then I ordered them again, and they weren't those. So now I'm already disappointed. Like they were still good. Like shitty fried pickles are still good.
Yeah.
But there's nothing worse than being disappointed in your fucking appetizer.
No, because then it just sets a horrible mood for the rest of the meal.
Yep.
Spears were the first experience with fried pickles I ever had.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah?
I had never had them, and there was an Alamo Draft House that opened up near us, the famous movie theater chain. I don't know if you guys have Alamo down in
No, we
Delaware.
have Cinemark.
Cinemark. Okay, that's don't know what that is. Is it like dinner and a movie basically like that or?
No, we have to drive into Pennsylvania to go to
Painter's Crossing.
AMC.
I don't-
Well, you should
Oh,
you should
I
try
don't
to find an Alamo if you can. So Alamo is you sit down and there's a long bar in front of you and you get booze and you get dinner and burgers and fried pickles and all that shit and you watch a movie and they're really great. They have a warning in front of the movie. They're like if you talk, you're getting kicked the fuck out after one warning. Like so amazing. Their trailers are always like 1970s like B-side weird TV things related to the movie that you're watching. So cool. But the first place I ever had fried pickles was there and they're spears. That's how they serve them, and they're so fucking good. Alamo started obviously in Texas, but now there's one. I mean, they're all over the place. They're in Brooklyn. They're where I am. They're in all bunch of states and stuff. So if there is one in a surrounding state near you guys, I would highly recommend it because it's a great fucking experience to watch a movie with beer, fried pickles. They have like garlic parmesan popcorn where it's all like melted in there. It's fucking great. So good.
Also, never forget the Alamo.
Or the basement of the Alamo.
Or the basement of the Alamo. Nice movie reference. Thank you.
Yeah, right. I'm glad someone got it.
Hello, Francis.
All right, so one last time.
Okay.
Philly Hot Sauce Festival.
Yes.
If you want to just so that way we can really we want everyone to come. It's a really, and I'm not just blowing smoke, it's a really fucking cool event.
It is. I think the best part about it is how nice everybody is. Because one thing I've discovered in this community is it's extremely welcoming, very like inclusive. Like there's just so much love that's spread around. Like and no one ever has really anything like disparaging to say about another brand. People do swaps all the time with their sauces with another company's sauce. They try to start you off at the right like heat level. They're not looking to like hurt you, you know, because I've been through that with brands before. It's not fun. These specific festivals that Kyle from Cast Iron Kyle and White House Station Sauce Company, they put on this one, Boston. There's another one in Jersey they put together. The Kyle's doing another one in Jersey near him at Bent Iron Brewing in May. There's a lot of these festivals they put together, and the group of people specifically is what really draws, I think, everybody here, because it's just welcoming. It's nice. Like, all these brands are just small businesses from all over the country, you know, and they're able to bring their creations and have people actually want to try them. I think that's the best part. So it makes you want to actually be there. And I'm excited, you know, so, and for, you know, a nice clear sound bite for the socials, March 29th and March 30th at Neshaminy Creek Brewing Company in Croydon, PA. It's going to start at 11, I think, on both days, and it's going to go all day. There's beer, there is food, there is hot sauce. There's going to be a fucking balloon artist, literally. It's just, it's going to be amazing. It's so great. And the awards are going to happen on Saturday too, as long as I believe, as well as the judging. But yeah, it's a great time. It's a weird community to find yourself in, because I was producing hot sauce for years and I didn't actually find it until after I had stopped producing hot sauce. I just, you know, had gotten so many connections from doing that eventually these started sprouting up, and I became friends with Kyle, and he was just like, hey man, you know what you need to do? And I was like, what? And he was like, you got to come judge. And you know, so, but it's, as you guys know from last year, it was such a great time, you know?
Yeah, we're excited.
We can confirm everyone is super friendly. We didn't meet a single person that wasn't like super into their craft, and everyone was willing to talk about their product and why you might like it, why you might hate it. Eric and I will be there as well.
I'm a cheap bastard. I walked away with more merchandise and product from any other event that I've ever gone to, because everybody was so like welcoming and nice, and the products were actually tasty. And even if you don't like really, really hot stuff, there's something for you there too.
And it's cool too, because that money is essentially going right to the company, you know, so you're just helping support
literally
small businesses. I don't even want to say they're all local, because there are people flying in.
They're all over. No,
so all over, but these small businesses.
Yeah, Kyle and John, when they arrange these festivals, they make it a little bit more accessible for smaller brands to break into, which allows people to actually be able to make the leap and travel, whatever. Like there are bigger sauce festivals, like, you know, the New York City Hot Sauce Expo, right? That happens every year, and it's hosted by Heatonist, you know, and like, you know, or like a High River Sauces, I think, does that one. And, you know, that's a popular one, and I'm sure I don't know the actual cost of anything, but I'm sure it costs an arm and a leg to enter for if you're a small business. And if you're coming from like Illinois, Michigan, whatever, that's not a great incentive, because it's like so overwhelming, whatever. These festivals are a lot more welcoming. They're a lot more inclusive. He makes it a lot more accessible if you're a small business in like, you know, 5 states away to be able to come. And that works out for everybody, because then more people get to know your sauce. I mean, I've fallen in love with brands that I never even knew existed. That's the best part, you know? Like there's a brand out of actually Jersey as well called Hot Gram. And they've been at all of them, and they were at the one last year, and Lauren and Sue are going to be there again. You guys should go to their table. He's got a sauce called Toccata. They're both classically trained musicians, so there's music notes and musical names on all the bottles. And he's got a sauce called Toccata that is basically like a Reaper-infused marinara sauce. Like, I've had it on pizza so many fucking times, and as an Italian, having something that really has like sun-dried tomatoes and like roasted bell peppers and a lot of other like tomato Reaper stuff like that, incredible. So
now, do you think that you could use that marinara sauce with your mozzarella sticks?
Ooh, fuck yeah. You kidding me?
I think I'm going to bring mozzarella sticks and a cheesesteak on Saturday.
That's a good idea. Yeah, the next time somebody asks you for a sample, they're like, oh, you want a sample? Yeah, before they get their spoon out, you go, bop, bop, bop.
Wait,
just like,
why the fuck not? Oh my God, let's bring BYO.
I don't think they're going to
vessel.
Yeah.
God damn it. You're going to make me piss myself.
So I didn't know that was going to trigger that.
You and that fucking little machine.
I slid the thing up with my arm, and I must have fucking hit the thing. Oh shit!
Huh. What the fuck? Wait, run that back real quick.
All right, hold on.
Say. I want you to say, "My butthole is fiery."
My butthole is fiery.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's so much shit. There's so much shit. So,
Chris, speaking of which, we'll be praying for your butthole because I feel for you having to eat all those hot sauces on Saturday. So
your butthole is gonna be.
it's good. All right, ready? This is Greg and Eric in the morning. Their new fucking radio talk show.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god! Oh, son of a bitch! Oh my god! There's so many of them.
It's like a little MIDI board you have, isn't it? All right, you got to start using that when we introduce people too.
I should. Just
Why
hit
the
him
fuck
with
did you
this.
wait until 56 minutes to start doing this? Jesus Christ!
There's so fucking many.
Now, I bet you're wondering how I got in this position. God damn it.
Well,
Oh my god! Holy shit!
okay. Well, Philly Hot Sauce Festival, everybody.
Go to Philly.
Do you have a playoff button?
Yeah, hold on. I got us. You ready?